This is life before K-Mac and life after K-Mac. Man,
Got a check from Deuces that was over 6 figures. I opened that mug up, it was like, I ain't never seen nothing over $10,000 in my life.
I can't even get nothing, bro, man. Y'all want to see me cry in here. So I can think I'm a bad. That ain't fair. Hey.
Response to Kevin McCall crying about being on an EBT card and begging for 25k. Now, it's sad to say, but Kevin McCall literally went on a podcast recently and explained the fact that he's actually been broke for a long period of time. Life is very, very hard. And what we're going to do today is just dive into the situation. And also I'm going to be giving my takes as we go through the video. Without further ado, let's do it.
Is that breezy, bro, and made 90 whatever the million, and it say KKKKK Max. Can I get 25,000 for them four songs I owe you, bro? I just want to leave, bro.
Leading up to who he is.
I'm not even tripping though.
So within this clip, right, it's just a part of the entire podcast. I've watched part of the podcast, especially leading up until obviously what we're about to see. But what he was basically saying and talking about was the fact that for a period of time now, he has been struggling, right? He went from having a bit of bread, in fact, not even a bit of bread. He went from being a millionaire, multi-millionaire, and now he's on an EBT card and he pulled it out to actually show that he's not capping, you know? And in saying this, look at what eventually happens.
I got an EBT card, like, what the fuck? I can't even get nothing, bro, man. Y'all want to see me cry in here. So I can think I'm a bad. That ain't fair. Hey.
Then he crashes out and starts to cry. Now, whilst I was watching the video, the main thing that came to mind was that, look, I can clearly see that this guy's mental health is not necessarily in check. And I've made a lot of videos around mental health and how I believe, especially black men and even further than that, black successful men, they need to take their mental health serious, especially in the creative industry, man, because you're around a lot of things, a lot of vices. You're surrounded by so much pressure. You have to perform. You have to take care of family. This guy had 8 million to his name at one point, and I'll even show you a clip where he actually says it for himself. So there's all sorts of pressures on him. You can only imagine how much of a toll is taken on so many people and so many creators' minds. And a lot of the time, let's be real, people usually just suppress it with vices and drugs. But funny enough, I was watching a podcast earlier and it was with the CEO of Telegram, right? For those that know about Telegram, it's literally one of the biggest social media platforms and it's literally big on ensuring privacy for people that actually use the platform, right? And he mentioned one thing. He said that what he noticed, because he's sober, he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't do anything that's going to actually take him away from his senses and being in reality and being present. He mentioned one thing that, to be honest, it was quite inspiring for me. And it made me rethink the way, not only am I living, but what type of life do I want to lead in the future. He was talking about the fact that a lot of vices are only going to numb the pain. It's not going to actually get rid of the actual pain that you're facing and the actual problem that you're facing within your life at the same time. That's the reason why he doesn't drink or smoke or even drink coffee, for example. I drink a lot of coffee, right? But it's there to basically just numb the pain and actually prevent you from realizing that, look, it's not about numbing the pain, but it's actually about tackling the solution. Or tackling the problem rather. And the problem right now that the guy's facing is the fact that, number one, poor money management, as we're actually going to go through, and also other things that we're also going to discuss as well in today's video. So we have a video here where he's actually talking about the fact that, look, he had 8 million to his name and unfortunately he blew it.
You get a whip, some dumb shit. But when I finally got a check from Deuces that was over 6 figures, I opened that mug up, it was like, I ain't never seen nothing over $10,000 in my life. So when I saw 100 and something thousand, I'm like, I looked at my cousin, I just closed it. I got scared. I didn't even get happy. I'm like, where I'm gonna put this shit? Didn't know what to do with it. Didn't know where to start. The most I had ever paid for rent at the time was like $300. It took me almost losing my family to realize, okay, something's not right. I had a 4-bedroom house in Woodland Hills, and my child's mom had to pay the rent. I'm thinking I'm broke, not knowing I got checks coming from here, here, on this tax ID number, all these things that I'm more familiar with now. And if I knew them then, I probably could have saved my family, but I knew I blew the bag when I had to move back into my parents' house for like a week. Just that whole time period was the most embarrassing time. I almost crumbled to the pressure, and then one of them royalty checks came in again. Praise the Lord. Another little 10,000 or something just to get me back started. I got me an apartment. Then I lost that apartment. I was back on my grandmother's couch again. I had to really sit back and
Like, before it even ends, right? How many times does one have to make it and then lose it, and then make it and then lose it, and make it and then lose it? And this is even coming from someone that, for example, even within my own life as well, I've made a bit of change, you know, at a young age, and obviously without having the knowledge, the guidance, the mentorship, etc. Because we're not financially literate and actually taught how to manage our finances within our community, guess what happens? We have to take accountability and just say that, look, we end up blowing the bag. We end up losing the bag and actually doing things that do not make sense, and it's not going to allow for longevity within our finances. How have you gone from, for example, being broke, then doing Deuces, which I'm even going to show you guys where Deuces was actually his song, then he gave it to Chris Brown, right? Then all of a sudden, you're now seeing 6 figures from the song within publishing because you've already been paid upfront for the song by Chris Brown. You then got 6 figures in publishing and the checks just kept on coming in. And what ended up happening? You blew it one time. Next thing you know, you're back in your parents' house. Next thing you know, you get another check, and what's the next thing you do? Instead of thinking to myself, okay, cool, I don't want to end up back in my parents' house. I don't want to repeat the vicious cycle that I've seen many people do it before, and I'm doing it again because I'm not here to judge or to act holier than thou, because at the end of the day, I've made the same mistake, like I literally just said. And outside of that, it's one of those ones where it would be a better thing for us to not judge another person, especially if a lot of us haven't been in the position to, for example, have $1 million. We don't know what we're going to do. In fact, I'll go as far as to say that when you make your first bag, right, typically you're going to splash it. Let's be real. But how many times do you have to keep on making a mistake before it clicks in, saying that, look, I can't keep on making this mistake and getting burnt? That's my point. That's my entire point. And the thing is, clearly this guy didn't learn. What was he doing? Poor money mismanagement. That's his main problem. Number 2, he was out here tricking. He actually says in the prior interview that what he was doing was spending money on the girl them, getting lit while he was on tour, doing this, doing that. That's the reason why, for example, he's in a position where he had to start paying child support as well. How many times will we keep on making these mistakes and seeing people make the mistakes around us and not think to ourselves, I hit the jackpot here. I got a couple mil. What do I need to do? Let me actually go and seek some expertise and figure out a way to preserve this mil. Okay, cool. I'm going through some mental issues and I'm feeling a certain type of way. What can I do? Let me try to find a support system and actually seek some sort of therapy. That's what I did, and that's what I encourage people around me to do all the time. These are things that can't keep happening within our community. And then what ends up happening? The same people that, because another thing that this guy kept on doing was starting on Chris Brown and people around and flaunting, etc. The same people that you left when you made your millions are the same people that you're going to end up coming back to. And guess what's going to happen? They're going to laugh at you, bro. They're going to clown you. No one, unfortunately, is on this guy's side. Unfortunately, from the comments that I've seen, etc. And I wonder why that is. Now, before we go into Chris Brown's reaction and what he's been saying in regards to this guy right here, let's actually understand the entire history of how we even got here in the first place. How, for example, Chris Brown got his hand on Deuces, how they started beefing, etc. Just in case there's anyone that's watching this that hasn't been caught up yet.
How did Deuces come together?
Deuces came together. He was doing, In My Zone did well. So he wanted to click up with Tiger. He was a fan of him. He felt like he had buzz popping at the time. He wanted to link up with him and do a joint album. So he hit me for that, and they were in Virginia again. So it's going to be round 2 again. I sent them those records, and I said, guess what? I'm an artist. I'm going to send you my stuff. So I sent them my single, which was Deuces. You know, he was like,
that was your song?
It was my song.
Ah.
It was a separate package from the whole thing. It's like, here's your 10 songs. Oh, and guess what? Listen to this in the car. He was listening to it the whole week. And he's like, nah, I need that song. I need that song.
Okay.
No, I need to come out. I'm an artist. I'm not a producer. I'm not a writer. I'm not a writer or a producer. just me, and I give away a lot of my stuff. So that's how I became writer.
And that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine, especially as a music producer, engineer that has worked with writers that have these Billboard hits, that have the platinum hits. Do you know what I mean? Maybe not as big as a song like Deuces, but I've been around these people and it's not an easy thing to do. So I don't want anyone to now come and be like, oh, just make another hit. It's not actually that easy to be in the studio cooking up. I'm not gonna lie. But that's another avenue that maybe he could have went down. Unfortunately, what happened, for those that don't know, when this guy was at the top, what was he doing? And when he started crashing down, he started burning a lot of bridges. He started moving, you could say, holier than thou. He lost his place and he forgot that the fact of the matter is that in any business, you need people. But let's carry on watching before, I even carry on giving my take and opinion.
So he begged me for another week when I was out there. We had finished all the songs we were going to do. He's like, I need Deuces. I was like, I need that. And he's like, well, you can stay on it. I was like, you got it.
Perfect. And that's how Deuces basically came about. And also, do realize, guys, this was at a point in time, because people keep on forgetting, this was at a point in time that Chris Brown, he needed a hit. I get it. Chris Brown, in my opinion, I know some people are going to be in the comments saying, oh, because there'll be some people typing sometimes, yeah? But Chris Brown, in my opinion, was the closest thing that we got to MJ after MJ passing. Name another person that can sing his ass off. Name another person that can perform to the pedigree and degree of someone like Chris Brown. Name another person that's able to be as versatile, because yes, if we're talking solely R&B, we got legends like Usher, for example. He's still alive. After Usher is, the generation of the Chris Browns. After that is now the debatable of whoever you're going to basically pass the baton on to. But Chris Brown, he's one of the greatest in R&B. But guess what happened? This guy was able to now do pop. He was now able to go into the trap and do the whole Bad Ed Boy era. Like, for example, Deuces. This guy has done everything, bro. He's done everything. But unfortunately, he hasn't had the best of careers at the same time. The Rihanna situation. The allegations against him as well. So, as much as Chris Brown is a great, great, great act and artist, and in reality is one of the best to ever come on earth, just in general, in my opinion anyways, right? He's also had some chinks in his armor, to say the least, right? In saying this, Deuces was one of those hits that, in my opinion, put him back into conversations at a time that a lot of people were clowning him and basically saying, I don't think Chris Brown's going to come back this time. And they've done it multiple times, but guess what happens? He keeps on showing up and showing up and showing up again, to the point where now no one can deny the guy. No one can deny Chris Brown. He is an utter genius. He is an utter legend. And the fact is that he's worked for it. But we have to call a spade and also say that, look, Kevin did his thing. He contributed towards Chris Brown's successful career.
Okay.
And then that's how Deuces came out.
And which part of Deuces is your part? Is
all of it?
All well, yeah, but Chris and Tiger.
I sing the last verse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's funny with Deuces because that's why I got coined a rapper. I'm not a rapper. I'm purely a singer. Rapping is just singing lyrics without melodies to me. So it's all poetry, and I'm a writer. So since Chris did the singing parts, I only had the rap part left.
Okay.
So that's how I got coined a rapper.
When that happened,
I thought he was a rapper until obviously I listened to his other stuff. Bearing in mind when Deuces came out as a young G, you know what I mean?
happens. Was it a little bit?
Yes, we listen to American music here in the UK as well. I know I got a lot of Americans listening to watch my content. We were bumping Deuces, Hey, don't get me gosh, How Deuces? I don't get. Hey, listen.
Bittersweet? Was it like, well, damn, I put together this hit record, but it was supposed to be my hit record, but it's Chris Brown, so you can only be so mad, but it's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
not for 1 second. It always felt better. If it was just me and Chris Brown, I don't think the record would be as good. I think it's the whole shebang. I think it's us three, and just, it was what was meant, and I never got jealous of either one of them. I always wanted the best for both of them, and I hope they wanted that for me.
Did the money start coming in right around this time?
I didn't get any money. And that's when my frustration started coming in.
The Deuces was a mixtape. Well,
Yeah.
off a mixtape.
Yeah.
But it came out as a single.
It did.
Okay.
But it took a long time for the money to matriculate in.
This was a mixtape. Well,
Yeah.
off a mixtape.
Yeah.
But it came out as a single.
It did.
Okay.
But it took a long time for the money to matriculate in.
And I think a lot of people don't realize
They don't realize that you can have a hit, and unless this artist is just giving you an advance, which he didn't,
Yeah.
you know,
Allegedly.
He doesn't have to.
he doesn't have to.
And also he doesn't have to.
Chris Brown, yeah.
And that's actually just the case of the matter. Unless usually if you want to buy a song, people are gonna give you maybe an advance and then some publishing. But if you're a massive artist, like let's say Chris Brown, for example, he doesn't have to pay you. He doesn't have to pay you up front because he's big. You already know that whether the song gets a platinum, gold, whatever, is gonna stream and it's gonna make a big enough of a bag before obviously you're able to eat. And another thing that people don't really understand within the music industry is that everything is paid in, I believe it's arrears, right? So let's say you could have a hit today, you might not get paid for the next quarter or two because that is when, you know, royalties are paid out by all of these music platforms and music distributors or collecting agencies rather. So things like ASCAP in America, things like PRS here in the UK.
Yeah. I would, but everybody doesn't think like me. Everybody isn't fair like me. Business isn't
No comment.
fair because business isn't of whole people. So I understand that, and but it did make me a little frustrated when the money wasn't coming in. They kept spelling my name wrong on when it was played. They'll cut my verses off on the radio.
Yeah.
But I still didn't let that get to me. I still stood there and said, you know what, I'm me, and I'm going to continue to make hits.
Deuces came out, but then there's a bunch of other stuff that started to come out at this point.
Then No BS came out.
Yeah.
And then I had my first taste of little, you know, success going on tour with him a little bit, just, you know, doing Deuces and this and that. But when it was time for like Strip to come out, our relationship started fading a little bit. And
before he gets into, you know, the relationships basically breaking because it was bad. It was bad. Things were said that I don't believe each of them can even come back from. In fact, if they do, somehow miraculously, I'll be very, very surprised. But as a producer and an engineer, I'm behind the scenes anyways. You know what I mean? It's even rare for you to get producer and engineers that everyone come and are doing content and reactions like this because we're behind the scenes. We're not supposed to be vocal. That's the notion, right? And outside of that, for the producer engineers that I know anyways, we don't really want to be vocal anyways. You know what I mean? Like I said, I only started doing content because people around me they like my opinion. So they're just like, okay, react to this, react to that, etc. And we're here right now and we're building this channel to the moon, God willing. But as a producer and engineer, one thing is that majority of us anyways, we don't necessarily care about being in the limelight. As long as obviously we're getting the music, because we're the real music lovers in my opinion, right? As long as the music is getting made and we're enjoying it, and number two, we're getting paid, and number three, we're getting credited, then 99.5% of producers, in my opinion, will be happy. Happy. In fact, I believe music will be in such a great place because if you was to give producers and engineers a platform where they can get paid and actually credited for their work, you're going to get the best out of them. The best. And producers are the people that drive the sound. They're the people that, you know, dictate what is hot right now and what is going to be hot in the next. Because without a banging beat, the artist can't put their lyrics on top, and of course, there's no song. Do you know what I mean? So the producers dictate whatever sound is current right now. They have the ear to the streets or the ear to the sound, whatever you want to basically say, alongside obviously engineers as well. And that's the reason why I believe producer engineers should definitely become, you know, A&Rs as well, in my opinion, because we understand the music. But as an artist, if you're an artist and then you're basically labeled a songwriter after, what can happen is that you have the artist's ego. For a lot of artists, what makes them artists, or part of what makes them artists, is the fact that they have an ego. They believe that they're the best. They believe that you know what I mean? They deserve they're the main center of stage. You got what I'm saying? So that is the artist thing that producers, engineers, and also songwriters So sorry I missed out the songwriters. You guys are in the mix with us guys as well. Trust me. Songwriters, in my opinion, like I said before, they get done dirty the most in this industry. But let's not even get into that. But as I mentioned, artists and the whole ego thing is like, So when he's mentioning, for example, that he was happy for them, then in the next sentence he's now like, I was pissed because my verses get cut out. Listen, if that was me, I'm on the Bible like, listen, my song is on the radio, bro. I don't care. My song's on the radio. I got a plaque. Obviously, at that point, he wouldn't have had a plaque, but I got a plaque back here. I got the billboards right here. I'm Gucci. And also, he didn't understand the music business at that time, according to some videos I've been seeing of him. I'll also be like, look, the publishing I know is going to be sweet. If this is getting played on the radio, those checks are going to come in. You know what I mean? So that's what we're thinking. So it's very, very interesting to see his perspective. Let's see how him and Chris Brown fell out.
I wasn't seeing him as much for whatever reason. I wasn't in as much sessions. There was a lot of more people coming into sessions, and I don't just gel with all types of spirits like that.
Yeah.
I'm a very real person. A lot of people can't take that. Mm-hmm. A lot of people around him was fake ass niggas. I didn't want to fuck them up, so I just wouldn't be around. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know who I'm talking to. And so I just didn't want to be around, so it kind of made a little, I don't know, tough guy stuff between me and Chris. And I remember when Strip came out.
And Strip, you wrote that?
Yeah, Strip was another song, kind of came together just like Deuces. And Strip was one of those things, I think it was just supposed to just be fun. It started doing really well. I remember Chris kind of feeling like, well, I don't want people to start thinking me and Tyga a group. I don't want people to start thinking me and you a group. I want to do my own thing. Ego, whatever you want to call it, he wanted to do his own thing. So he didn't really want Strip to just, but the label was like, hey, we missing money. You got to make a video out of this. So that's how I was in the Strip video.
Okay.
If it wasn't for that, I don't think I would have been in it.
I mean, were you being offered publishing deals and stuff like that during this time?
I did a publishing deal through Chris. I didn't understand any of that. So everything was through Chris. And that's why.
So you're telling me that 8 million that you got could have even been a bigger bag if it was direct. Guys. And this is the reason why I always try to make videos and try to educate people as much as possible. Not as someone that has had a publishing deal yet, but as someone that has seen people get signed right in front of, my eyes. Like people on the journey of me being a producer, I've seen people getting signed for less than 6 figures and also over 6 figures in real time. Do you get what I'm saying? And through the conversations I've had with them as well, depending on who it is and depending on, again, their financial literacy, some of them are like, if only I knew I could have signed for more. The other lot, they're like, look, this put me on, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, one of my bridges only got a publishing deal. Straight away, he invested into a studio. Very, very good. He then invested into like a business which was paying him a bit of passive. Then he not invested, but he got a car. He got a nice car. Good on him. Do you know what I mean? And he went on to do well. He's amazing producer right now. But him doing it through Chris automatically gives Chris some sort of leverage and some sort of power in this situation. And I'm pretty sure that is going to even create more tension. That's the reason as to why Chris has the say so and is saying certain type of things, which I'll show you guys right now. Remember this, you can't walk across a burnt bridge. And you know what's funnier than a troll? A broke one. Unfortunately, certain things that he had to say about Chris led to this, the burnt bridge. Do you get it? And the thing is, like I said earlier in this video, the same people that you left are going to be the same people to laugh at you if you F around and lose your bag. It's as simple as that. That's the reason why they always say it's best to stay humble. It's best to keep your head in the sky or in the clouds and your feet on the ground, as they usually say, right? It's a wise saying. Because if he hadn't tarnished relationships like this, then, kind of vibe. And to go as far as him now saying, let me just get 25K. Like, bro, what? You clowned the guy after going broke. You've said things that, again, you can't come back from. Bro, doesn't make any sense. And then you have the audacity to now say, but lend me 25 G's though. What? Even if Chris Brown and him was to squash a beef, I still wouldn't necessarily expect him to now say, oh, but let me still get 25. Like, that's entitlement, bro. It's entitlement. And no matter how big you are as well, I know this is going to be a shocker for some people, but no matter how big you are, if you fall down and you go broke, you have to do what you have to do. Get a job. Leverage the connections that you still have left, besides the ones that obviously you've burnt. There's all sorts of ways to make money. I know it's hard and it gets harder each and every single day, especially within the economy. We've got inflation, etc. But my guy, we need to do something, man. We need to do something. And again, it all results back to what I was saying in the beginning. Number one, financial literacy is king. Number two, you need to make sure you nurture your relationships. Number three, mental health is also a big thing as well. Let's also see further things that Chris Brown had to say.
I just woke up.
Now, these are, if I'm not mistaken, this is from 2016. Like these are old videos, but maybe I'm mistaken though.
And I thought about something. If this wrote all these songs that he claiming he wrote, why he ain't write no more? Oh wait, this is just one part of my house. This is life before K-Mac and life after K-Mac. Man, I'm gonna stop
Chris Brown's that guy, bro. He's that guy.
playing with this. He's a bitch. Thank you, K-Mac. I bought this with your money.
Bro, oh no.
I bought this with your money. I bought this with your money.
And even though he's being petty, yeah, it's actually through his money. Again, I haven't looked into the deal structure, but from when he said that everything was through Chris in that last video, it's automatically telling me that Chris Brown has the leverage. Do you know what I mean? So even the money that you're talking about, like, bro, like, these are where the proceeds are going, mate. You donated to Chris Brown's charity.
I was thinking about giving you this, but you're a bitch. But I bought this with your money too. I bought that with your money. That's the only one on the West Coast. Oh, I bought that one with your money too. I took a shit and then I bought this car. He's looking at you so disappointed.
He brought in MJ. I'm done. I'm done. Guys, I'm not even going to react to any further, man. He brought in MJ. Do you get it? If you enjoyed this video, liked anything I had to say, make sure to like it to boost in the algorithm. Comment your thoughts down below, whether you agree with anything I said, whether you disagree. I'm always curious to hear and see what you guys have to say in regards to my videos. Outside of that, make sure to subscribe. We upload daily on this channel. So I'll see you guys in tomorrow. Peace.